जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन। वीतरागभयक्रोधा मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसा पूता मद्भावमागताः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्। मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः काङ्क्षन्तः कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवताः। क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्य कर्तारमव्ययम्। न मां कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति न मे कर्मफले स्पृहा इति मां योऽभिजानाति कर्मभिर्न स बध्यते। एवैज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतं। किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्। कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः। कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्नकर्म कृत्। यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणं तमाहुः पण्डितं बुधाः त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः। कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः निराशीर्यतचित्तात्मा त्यक्तसर्वपरिग्रहः। शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्। यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टो द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः समसिद्धावसिद्धौ च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते। गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते। ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविर्ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना। दैवमेवापरे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञं यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति श्रोत्रादीनीन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति शब्दादीन् विषयानन्य इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति सर्वाणीन्द्रियकर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते द्रव्ययज्ञास्तपोयज्ञा योगयज्ञास्तथा परे स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाश्च यतयः संशितव्रताः अपाने जुह्वति प्राणं प्राणे पानं तथा परे प्राणापानगतिरुद्ध्वा प्राणायामपरायणाः अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजो याति ब्रह्म सनातनम् नायं लोकोऽस्त्ययज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवैज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयाद्यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानै ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः यज्ज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वैज्ञानप्लवेनैव वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निर्भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति श्रद्धावाल्लभते ज्ञानं तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेणाधिगच्छति अज्ञश्च श्रद्दधानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति नायं लोकोऽस्ति न परो न सुखं संशयात्मनः योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणै ज्ञानसञ्छिन्नसंशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय तस्मादज्ञानसम्भूतं हृत्स्थैर्ज्ञानासिनात्मनः चित्वैनं संशयं योगम् आतिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ भारत। ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे ज्ञानकर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। हरये नमः। हरये नमः। हरये नमः।
जय श्री कृष्ण दीदी, कैन वी स्टार्ट और जय श्री कृष्ण भैया, सॉरी। जय श्री कृष्ण भैया।
Shall we start or we wait for some more time?
Yeah, as you say so. As you say, भैया.
Because how many participants are there? Only 2, 3.
Yeah. So, can I play the video again then?
Then another 2, 3 minutes we can wait.
Yeah, with the time I will share the video again.
Okay.
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच इमं विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम् विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत् एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्। अर्जुन उवाच अपरं भवतो जन्म परञ्जन्म विवस्वतः कथमेतद्विजानीयान् त्वमादौ प्रोक्तवानिति। श्रीभगवानुवाच बहुतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परन्तप अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
Okay. Let us start.
Yes.
I don't know how many are the participants in this. Anita, Dave, Seema, Solanki.
Yes.
I can't hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, Priya.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let us start. We'll start with the prayer. Whoever is the participant, let me welcome all the participants for this extra class, for the revision of the 4th chapter, primarily for you to prepare for Pathik examination. Okay, so let's start with the prayer. Vasudeva Sutan Devang Kamsa Chanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Okay. Didi, the first slok or the opening of the chapter. Yeah, okay. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Srimad Bhagavad Gītā. Atha Chaturthodhyayah. Point to be noted. Shri, it is long, and Shri, it is Sh and R, and long E. So Shri, Ra has to be full. Parama, don't say Parma. Paramatmane, and after having said Ma, long Ma, then the Aghat or the stress has to be brought in for this half the Paramatmane Namaha. Srimad, pay attention to the Aghat. Srimad Bhagavad Gītā. So Bhagavad, if you say, then Ga becomes half. So you have to stay on Ga also. Srimad Bhagavad Gītā. Atha, don't say At. Atha Chaturthodhyayah. So after having given sufficient time for Tho, then you have to bring in the Aghat. Or half the Chaturthodhyayah. Okay, starting with the first slok. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Point to note here, Bhaga. Ga has to be complete. Don't say Bhagwan. Then Ga becomes half. You should say Bhaga. Bhagavan Vacha. Don't break it into Bhagwan and Vach. Okay. Bhagavan Vacha. And Cha is again complete. It is not the Alant or half letter. Okay. So Uvacha. Imam vivasvate yogam proktavanaham abhyayam vivasvan manave praha manurikshvakave bravit. Point to be noted here. Vivasvate. V on va there is stress or aghat or half sa. It has to be very prominent pronounced because it is coming on a Rasva letter. Vivasvate yogam. Then in the next charan, prokta. So say complete pro, which is prolonged letter. say that and then get the aghat for the half curve. Proktavan. Otherwise, if you make it faster, then the pro is no more long. You should make sure that it is a long letter. Proktavan, vana, ha. So na, ha, and ma. These three letters are full. So you should not say proktvan ham. It has to be proktavana amabhyayam. Ma has again aghat. Half buzz aghat is there. Amabhyayam. And last letter is ma halant, which is half letter. So don't stay there like amabhyayam. Don't say that. Proktavana hamabhyayam. Vivaswan. So again on swa, that ba, there is again aghat, but it is after it. That is a long letter. So pronounce it complete and then get the aghat for half na. Vivaswan manave. Na is complete before ve. Manave. Then there is aghat again on this ve. So again, ve is a long letter. Pronounce it completely long and then get the aghat for pra, that pa. Vivaswan manave praha manurik shvakave bravit. Pay attention, nu, ri, they are both short letters. Don't, any of them should not pronounce them very long. They are short. Manurik shvakave. Ka is complete. Ve again is long. Ve, and then after having pronounced it for long enough, then get the aghat for half letter ba. Okay. Bravit, manurikshvakave, bravit. Again, the last letter is halant. So don't stay there. Okay, next, Didi. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. Here, parampara. So you have in this word, that second word, you have three aghat. Okay, out of that, ra is the one which is pronounced one, which is supposed to be, as we call it, is prakhar. Okay, which is on a hrasva letter. But thereafter ra and pra, there are two aghats. So these are prolonged letters, long letters. Pronounce them complete and then get the aghat. That is something which you should pay attention. In the second charan, rajar sha, this is shatkun or the retroflex sha. So for this, the tongue has to be actually rolled back up. Okay. And then only you get this sound. So you should get that sound, not sha. Sha. It is sha and not sha. Rajar shayo viduhu. The visarg at the end of du is to be pronounced as hu and not her. It is not vidu ha. It is vidu hu. Rajar shayo viduhu. Sakale. Sa has to be, because it is ending. This is actually a single letter word with a short letter. So it should be read with the next letter, following word. You have to join it with that. Sakale neha mahata yogo, both long. Nashtap aghat on na for again the same retroflex sha. Okay. Nashtap parantapa. Here the last letter pa is complete. So you should end it with a sound. Okay. Parantapa. Don't say parantap. It is parantapa. Didi next. Sa evayam maya tedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hyetaduttamam. Again, if you look at the last word in the first charan, Tedya, te, long one. So make sure you are pronouncing it sufficiently long. And thereafter, get the aghat for half the, which is joined with ya. So it is dya, the ya, Tedya. And ignore this avagrah. Okay, wherever you find avagrah, just ignore it. Don't pay attention to it. It is nothing to do with reading. Recitation, it has no meaning. Just ignore it. Tedya yoga. Okay, the visarg at the end of ga has to be pronounced like half, pronounced like, not exactly half. Make your position of the mouth in such a way as if you are trying to say pa, and let the breath come out. Yoga, yoga. What they call it is prashwas. Okay. Proktaf, again, same. Proktaf puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Pay attention to the letters that I am pronouncing very long. You must keep them dir, are the long one, okay? And the short ones are the ras one, you should cut them short. Sakha cheti, che dir, ti ras. Cheti. If you don't make the long one long enough, the short one will have a tendency to become long one. Okay. So it is very important to pronounce the long letters with sufficient time. Sakha cheti rahasyam shyeta. The letter here is half joined with ya and a matra of a. That is, the vowel a has been joined to this consonant ya. So pay attention to that. It is not ho. It is ye, here, ya, here. Hyeta, duttamam. Next, Didi. Fourth shlok. Arjuna uvacha. Again, Arjuna, ra is half and na has to be complete. Don't say Arjun, you should say Arjuna, and has to be a. And uvacha, uvacha, and cha has to be again complete. Don't say uvach. It is uvacha. And don't prolong it very long also, uvacha, like that, don't prolong it. Aparam bhavato janma, parang janma vivasvataha. Kathame tadvijaniyan vamadau proktavaniti. Here, take the second charan, parai. The anuswar on the ra has to be pronounced as nya, because the following letter is of cha varga. Cha, cha, ja. That is, that ja is of cha group. And the fifth letter in the cha group is nya. So that is the consonant that is supposed to be substituting for the anuswar here. Parang janma vivasvataha. Look at the third charan, little longish. So look at it the way it should be pronounced. Kathame tad, kathame tad. Get that da there, half the. And then you said vijaniyan. That will ensure the aghat is also there and correct pronunciation also. Kathame tad vijaniyan. V short, janiya. All three of them are long letters. Tvamadau. Pay attention to this. Dau. This is not o. It is au. So don't read it as thamado. It should be read as tamadau. In the end, there is a sound of u. When you say au, the end sound is that of u. Tamadau proktavaniti. While pro and va, they are long ones, you should pay attention to ni and ti. There is a tendency to say ni, ti. Don't make them long. Proktavaniti. Proktavaniti. They both have to be pronounced short. Okay, next. Shlok 5, Didi. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vedha parantapa. Pay attention here. Bahu, this who is the long one. So pronounced it long enough so that the next letter, which is ni, has to be kept short, small, short. Okay, don't stay for long on it. Bahuni, bahuni, me, long again. And after pronouncing it long enough, then get the aghat of half ba there. Me vyatitani. Pay attention to the way I am pronouncing the long ones, fairly long enough. And then it makes it very easy for me to pronounce the short one adequately short. Vyatitani janmani tava charjuna. And is na. Don't say charjun. Charjuna. Tanyaham veda sarvani. Here, Veda, this the is again complete letter, so don't say Ved. Veda, Sarvani. And the fourth charan, Na has an aghat, so you should get the half the along with that. Natvam, natvam, don't say natvam. You should say natvam. Similarly, Betha, Betha. Only thing is, Ve is long. So pronounce it long first and then get the aghat. Betha parantapa natvam betha parantapa. Next, sixth shloka. Sixth shloka. Ajopi sannabhyayatma bhutanamishwaropi san prakritim swamadhishthaya sambhavamyatma mayaya. Here, Ajopi is simple. You make sure that Jo is pronounced long enough, the way it should be. Then next is Sanna. So sometimes you may have a tendency to read it as Thra. It is not that. It is Sanna. Half Na joined with another Na. Sanna, and then the full na has the aghat for the next half verb. Sanna vyayatma, sanna vyayatma bhuta. See, all of them are long letters. Bhuta nami. 4 letters are long. Then you have shwaro pisan. So again, shwa is short, ro is the long, and then pi again short. San. And the last is again halantana, so don't say sana, sun. It should end at that. In the third charan, see the second letter in the first word is kra, which is like Krishna. So you will find there is a tendency of reading it as prakriti. Don't read it as prakriti. There is no aghat there. Okay? Because this is a consonant with a vowel, like any other consonant with a vowel. It is not a conjunct consonant or a what in Hindi they say Sanyuktakshar. Okay, so Prakritim, don't say Prakritim. Prakritim Swama Dhishtaya Dhish. This Sha is again retroflex Sha. Swama Dhishtaya Sam. This fourth charan is little long, so see how it should be broken down. Sambhavamyatma mayaya. Sambhavamyatma mayaya. Sambhavamyatma mayaya. Okay, next. At any point, if you have any doubt, please keep it marked. And at the end, we will have a question answer session, wherein I can clarify, revisit these slokas and clarify your doubts. But you should have your PDF. I hope you have a printout with you, or otherwise some notes where you can make a note as to what is the observation that you have, or a query, or also whatever point you need to actually note down. Okay. We take this seventh shlok. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanamadharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Very well-known shlok. Okay. Yada yada hi. This he is short. Remember. So don't say yada yada hi. Yada yada hi dharmasya. Pay attention to the aghat. And if you read both this charan, first and second in one go, then there is aghat on this dharmasya's sya. So that time this aghat should be used. Okay, I'll just give you, tell you how to read it if you are reading both these charan together. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Okay, glanir bhavati. Don't read it as bhavati. Bhavati bharata. Don't read it as bharat. Bharata. Abhyut. Look, pay attention to the aghat. Abhyu, abhyu. Bha is joined with u, ya. Okay, with the vowel u, u. Okay, so abhyutthanamadharmasya. Again, in between there are two letters na and ma. One of them there is a tendency of making them half. So don't do that. They are full letters. Abhyutthanamadharmasya tadatmanam. Tadatmanam srujamyaham. Now, in this word, the first letter has, it is sa with the vowel rushi, that ru. Now, regionally in North India, it is pronounced as ri. Okay, Krishna, Krish. And in most part of the South, Maharashtra downwards, it is ru. So, sru, sruja. But correctly, it should be sru, somewhere in between the two. So, the whichever way you pronounce it is okay, but not one of these three ways. Okay, I have a tendency of pronouncing it as sru only. Srujamyaham. Okay, 8th shlok. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Again, a very well-known shlok. Paritra, pay attention to the aghat and ri. Paritranaya, and the last ya is full, so don't say paritranaya. You must give us that sound of a should come at the end. Paritranaya sadhu, long one. Sadhu nam, all three are long letters. Vinashaya cha. This cha should be read with the next word. Dushkritam. Dushkritam. Now, in the third charan, dharma samstha. The anuswar on top of this sa must be pronounced as what they call it in Hindi as anunasik va, the nasal va. So imagine that there is a half va after the first sa and the next half sa. Between these two, there is a half va. Just imagine and try to pronounce it. Some, and the nasal has to be there. So sam sthapanarthaya. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. Like this. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. Again, here is full. Sambhavami. Va is long and mi is short. So don't say sambhavami. Sambhavami. Yuge, yuge. The gaze in both the cases are long and you in both the cases are short. Okay, next. 9th shlok. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. Here, chame, cha is short, so join it with the next, that is me, chame in the first charan. Okay. In the second charan, veti, the ve is long, and then thereafter you have one half the joined with another the and a short e. Veti. So you should try to read it as vet, as if halant ta or half the is there after ve, vet, and then say ti, and join them together, the correct pronunciation will come. Veti, tat, tatah. Again, after the, there is half the, another half the, and that is joined with va. So there are two half the after the first the. So remember that. Tat, tva, tat, tva, tat, tvatah, tyak, tva. Here, the second letter is half ka joined with half the joined with ba. There are three letters. So how do you read such a combination? Tyak, the first half letter to be taken with the first half of the word, tyak, and the remaining to be pronounced together, twa, tyak, twa, tyak, twa, deham, punarjanma, naiti. Remember, this is not neti, nai, I. So, and is a short e. Naiti, naiti, naiti mameti sorjuna. Okay, next. 10th shloka. Vitaraga bhayak krodha manmaya mamupashritaha bahavo jnana tapasa uta madbhavamagataha. Now, first charan, single word. Pay attention to the way I am reading. Break it down like that. Vita raga. So ta is full, ga is full. Vita raga bhayak krodha. So on ya there is an aghat, and it's very important. Don't say bhayak krodha. Bhayak krodha. Vita raga bhayak krodha. Then the last word in this line, mamupa. Mamupa. Pronounce it long, and then half shas aghat should be taken, which is joined with three. Okay. Mamupashritaha. Mamupashritaha. Visar at the end of ta has to be pronounced as ha. Okay. Bahavo. Again, at the end of vo, there is aghat. Okay. So that aghat you should take after pronouncing vo long enough. Bahavo. Now, what aghat will you take here? Again, this letter, the first letter and the second word in the third charan, is regionally you pronounce it differently. Okay. In North India, it is read as ya, as if it is half ga joined with ya. Okay. In Maharashtra, it is nya or na, as if there is half the joined with na. And in some other parts, it is pronounced as na, as if there is half ja joined with na. Okay, but correctly, it is half ja joined with nya. That cha varga, cha groups, last letter, that is full. And before that, there is ja, cha, cha, ja, and thereafter nya. So this is the actual pronunciation. But whichever way, whichever regional way you pronounce it like that. But the aghat that you take here at the end of bahavo, at the end of vo, has to be, it will be dictated by the way you pronounce this letter. Okay. So if you pronounce it as ja, then aghat you will take up ga, because that is the half letter. If you pronounce it as nya, that is half the, then aghat will be up the. If you pronounce it by the other two methods, either nya or jya, then the half letter will be ja. Okay. And since I do the last one, that is the way. So it will be bahavo jnana tapasa, bahavo jnana tapasa. And in the North Indian way, bahavo jnana tapasa. Tapasa. Remember, ta, na, ta, pa, all three are full letters. Bhuta, both long. Madbhava, the va is full. Madbhava, Magataha. Okay, next. 11th. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tanstathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanuvartante manushya partha sarvashah. Here, prapadyante, prapadyante, the joined, half the joined with ya. Dyante, prapadyante. And the next word is tanstathav. So, on ta, this anuswar is there, which should be pronounced as anunasik va or nasal va, as if there is a half va before the next half sa. Okay. Tams, tathaiva, and tha has I. Tathaiva bhajamyaham. Then mama vatmanuvartante. Mama. Here, don't say mam. Both letters are full. So you should say mama. Mama vartmanuvartante manushya. The sha here is again retroflex sha or cerebral sha. Okay. Manushya partha sarvasha. Next. 12th shloka. Did he change it? 12th. Yeah. Kangshantah karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha Kshipram himanushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Kangshantah. Pay attention to this word. There is this ka group's last letter. Nga, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. Don't read it as da. Okay. This is nga. So kang, this is ha, to be joined with the next ksha, which itself is a conjunct consonant. It is made up of half ka with retroflex sha. Okay. So there are three letters. There is nga, there is ka, and there is sha. Kangshantah karmanam siddhim yajanta. Don't say yajant. Yajanta iha devataha. Okay. Then kshipram hi. Again, it is short. Don't make it kshipram hi. Kshipram hi. Manushe. This sha is again retroflex sha. Manushe. Loke, both of them are long. Rest, I think, is easy. Okay. Next, Didi, 13th sloka. Chaturvarnyam maya srushtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaramapi mam vidyakartaramamyayam. Chaturvarnyam, chaturvarnyam, srishtang, sru. The sa has the same rishi. Okay, that vowel is there. So you may pronounce it as srishti, srisht, or srusht. The way you pronounce it, your regional effect. Otherwise, sru, srishtang. Guna karma vibhagashah. Guna, don't say gun. Guna karma, don't say karm. Karma has to be complete. Guna karma vibhagashah. Fourth charan, vidya kartaram abhyayam. Vidya kartaram abhyayam. Vidyakartaramabhyayam. Vidyakartaramabhyayam. Like that. Next sloka, 14th. Didi, 14th sloka. Namang karmani limpanti name karma phale spraha iti mam yo vijanati karma bhirna sabadhyate. Namang, na to be read with ma, recited with ma, joined. Don't say namang. Namang karmani limpanti. Pay attention. The last ti is short one. Don't make it limpanti. It's end of charan. Tendency is there. Please curb it. It is short, so make it short. Limpanti. Name karma phale spruha. Spruha, spriha, whichever way you pronounce it. Itimam yo bhijanati. Again, ti is short. Before that, ja and na are long. So make them long enough so that this is easier for you to make the ti short. Yo bhijanati karma bhirna sabadhyate. Karma bhirna sabadhyate. Now here, badhyate, ba, thereafter half the joined with ya. So don't recite it as baddhate. That ya goes missing then. So the ya sound should be very clearly heard. Badhyate, badhyate, badhyate. And of course there is aghat, abdha and ba. Badhyate. And the stay is long. So to recite it in a proper way, recite it long. Next, Didi, 15th. Evain jnatva krutang karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam purvatarang krutam. Evain jnatva. Again here after va, the anuswar on top of va, what is shown there is ya. But if you read the next letter as gya, correct it. It will be nga and instead of nya. So if you read it as gyatva, then you should say evang gyatva. Don't say evang gyatva. Okay. Evang gyatva. If you pronounce the letter this gya as gya and not gya. Okay. So accordingly, remember to make it correctly. Similarly, if it is the half letter the is there, then the is aptavar, tatha, the, no. So it should be as if half na. Okay. Evan natva as like that. Krutang karma purvai. Pu has to be taken long and this vai is also long. Purvai rapi mumuk shubhihi. Mumuk shubhihi. Again, the visarg at the end of bhi is he. Mumuk shubhihi. Kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam. Again, pay attention to this. Normally people say purvai, purvatara, purvai. Don't say purvai. Purvai. Pu is long. Vai is also long. But pu is definitely long. Okay. Purvai, purvatarang krutam. Next, Didi. 16th sloka. King karma kima karmeti kavayo pyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami yajñatva mokshase shubhat. King karma kima karmeti. Kima, the second letter in this kima is again full. Don't say kim karmeti. Kima karmeti. Me dirgh and ti rasva, short. Kavayo pyatra mohitaha. Again in the third charan, tatte karma. The karma ma has again aghat and it has to be very, very prominent. Karma pravakshami. Aghat for this pa. I hope you understand when I say aghat. Karma pravakshami yajñatva. Yaj. You may be reading it gya. So you say yajñatva. Mokshase shubhat. Here, pay attention. Moksh. It is not moksh. It is mokshya. It is mokshya. Mokshyase shubhat. And the last the is halant, the half the. Don't make it as shubhat. Next. 17th shlok. 17th. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. Very important shlok from the point of view of anuswar. You have at one time anuswar to be pronounced as ma, second time ya, and third time ga. So three way of pronouncing anuswar comes in this shlok itself. So second word here, shyapi. Earlier also we have seen here. This is half year joined with year. Remember that shyapi, and p is short. Bodhavyam, bodhavyam. Say bodhir, a long one. Then aghat of the joined with the. And for the next again, the has aghat of half ba, which is joined with ya. And anuswar is to be hapma. Bodhavyam, bodhavyam. Okay, next one is bodhavyam, bodhavyam. Why it is ya? Because next letter is cha. So cha works, that is the cha group's anunasik. The fifth letter is ya. That's why it is here like that. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanascha. Aghat is there, remember. Akarmanascha bodhavyam. Here it is nga. Why? Because gahana, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. Same ka groups. Last letter has to come here. Gahana. Ha has to be taken as full. Don't say gahana. Gahana karmano gatihi. Gahana karmano gatihi. Next. Didi, 18th shlok. Karmanya karmaya pashyed akarmani cha karmayah sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayukta krutsna karma krut. Karmanya, this ya is complete, so pronounce it fully. Karmanya, karma. Again, this ma is complete. Karmanya, karma, yah. Pashyed, pashyed, pa, half sha, joined with ya with a vowel of ye, a, pashyed, pashyed, and the last the is half the. Don't say pashyed, pashyed, akarmani cha karmayah. Very simple. Next, third charan, buddhiman manushye-shu, buddhiman Manushye-shu. Buddhiman manushye-shu. Sabuddhiman manushye-shu. Sayukta krutsna karma krut. So the last word is krutsna. There are three letters. Half the first, which is joined with half sa, which is joined with na. Don't read it as sra. It is sna. Half sa joined with na. So krutsna, krutsna. Like you say snan. It is the same sna. Krutsna. Krutsna. Karma. Krut. Karma. Krut. Sayukta. Krutsna. Karma. Krut. And again, ta is half letter. Halant. Don't make it kruto. Krut. Next, Didi. 19th shlok. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha Jnanagnidagdha karmanan tamahu panditam buddhaha. Samarambha. Samarambha. Rambha. Okay. Next is Kama Sankalpa Varjitaha. So don't say Kam. Kama Sankalpa. Don't say Sankalp. Say Sankalpa Varjitaha. Break it down into these three parts and then pronounce it. It is easier. Next, Jnanagni. It could be Jnanagni. It could be Jnanagni. Whichever way you pronounce it. I pronounce it as Jnana. Jnanagni dagdha karmanan. Jnanagni. This ga, half ga is joined with ni. Na with the vowel e. Jnanagni dagdha karmanan. Jnanagni dagdha karmanan. Tamaho panditam buddhaha. Asan. Simple. Next. 20th श्लोक दीजिए. त्यक्त्वा कर्म फला संगन नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किंचित् करोति सः. त्यक्त्वा. 3 letters again. Half ka, half the joined with va. त्यक्त्वा. Tyaktva karma phala sangan. Break it down like this and then it is easier to read the second word. Nityatrupto. Don't say nityat. Nityatrupto. There is a tendency. There is no aghat on ya. Remember. Nityatrupto nirashrayah karmanya bhi pravrattopi karmanya bhi pravrattopi karmanya bhi pravrattopi. And bhi, that very, very prominent aghat should come. Karmanya bhi pravrattopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. Kinchit. Ki, short. Then you have half nya, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. That nya joined with chi. Cha with short vowel e. Kinchit karoti saha. Karo. Ro has to be long so that ti becomes short. Karoti saha. Okay, next. This is the 21st. Nirashira yata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha sharirang kevalang karma kurvannapnoti kilbisham. Nirashir yat chittatma nirashir yat chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha. The aghat on ri, very, very, it should be pronounced, very, very prominent it should be. Tyakta sarva parigraha. If you read both these charan together in one breath, then aghat on ma, chittatma's ma, should also be taken. Then how will you read it? Nirashiryata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha. Like that. Then the fourth charan, kurvanna, kurvan na. That's how it will become kurvanna. And then there is aghat for the next half pa. Pnoti, that half pa is joined with na, with no. Kurvanna, pnoti, pnoti. That no is long, ti has to be short. Kilbisham. Next Didi, 22nd. Yadrachala vasantushto dvandvatito vimatsaraha samasiddhavasiddhau cha krutvapi na nibadhyate. Yadrachala, don't read it as yadrachala. Yadra, don't say yadra. There is no aghat on ya. Yadrachala, because as I said earlier also, here the has the vowel Rishi's ra. That ra vowel is there. So it is not a conjunct consonant or sanyuktakshar. It is a plain one consonant with a vowel joined to it. That is matra in Hindi they say. Yadracha, yadracha. That cha, aghat for cha has to come. Yadracha labha santushto, labha santushto. Dvandva, dvandva, tito. All three of them are long vowel, long letters. Vimatsaraha. Here again, both these charan, if you read them together, then aghat on the santushto sto, that aghat should be taken. Yadrachala vasantushto dvandva tito vimatsaraha, like that. Okay. Then fourth charan, krutvapi, na nibadhyate. Nibad, don't say nibadhate. Nibadhyate, nibadhyate, na nibadhyate. Okay. Next slok, Didi, 23rd. Gata sangasya muktasya jnanavasthita chetasaha yajñaya charatah karma samagram praviliyate. Gata sangasya muktasya. Again, if you read the next charan with this, you will have to take aghat on this muktasya, this here on that. And again, that aghat will depend on of which letter. That will be decided by how you pronounce this jnana, whether you read it jnana, 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 whichever way you pronounce it, accordingly you should take the aghat of that letter. Jnana vasthita chetasah. Break it down like this. Jnana vasthita chetasah yajñaya charatah. Read each letter, you will not go wrong. Samagram praviliyate, praviliyate, praviliyate. Remember, li is long, others are the ya and pravi, they are short, and last te is again long. Next, Didi, 24th slok. Now, this is also a very popular slok. Standalone, this slok is used many times, and children are also taught this slok at home normally. Okay, outside of Gītā itself. Brahmarpanam, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva tena gantapyam, Brahma karma samadhina. Brahma, remember, Brahma, the ha comes first and ma comes later. Ha is half and ma is full. Brahma, Brahmarpanam, Brahmarpanam. Don't say Brahma. Don't say Brahma. Brahma, Brahmarpanam. Similarly, Brahma, Brahmahavir, Brahmahavir. Again, Brahmagnau, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam. Simple, but you should pay attention to this. Brahma, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam. Brahmaiva, 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 don't say Brahmaiva. Brahmaiva, Tena. Again, na is complete, don't say ten. Tena, Gantabhyam, Gantabhyam. Brahma karma samadhina, Brahma karma samadhina, Brahma karma samadhina. Okay, next, 25th slok, Didi. Daivameva pare yajñam yoginah paryupasate, Brahmagnava pare yajñam yajñenaivopajuhvati. Dai, I. Okay, dai. Don't say they. Don't say devame. Daivameva pare yajñam. Yajñam. Again, it could be yajñam, it could be yajñam, it could be yajñam. Okay, depending upon how you pronounce this one letter. Yogina paryu. Don't say parayu. Don't say para. Ra is not complete. It is half. Paryu, paryupasate, paryupasate. And this sa is complete. Don't say paryupaste. Don't say paste. Pasate. Brahmagnav, Brahmagnav, Gnav, va is complete. Brahmagnav pare, pare, yajnam again. Yajnam, 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 yagnam, whichever way you pronounce it. Yajnam, yajnam, yajnai vopa, yajnai vopa, juhvati, juhvati. So after ju, there is half ha joined with va. So first ha sound will come and then va. Juhvati, juhavati, juhavati, juhvati, yajnai vopa, juhvati. Next, Didi, 26 no. Shrotraadinindriyanyanye sanyamagnishu juhvati. Shabdadin vishayananya indriyagnishu juhvati. Shrot, very long word. Shrot, very simple, but if you keep paying attention to each letter, you will not go wrong. And the first ones are all long letters. Shrotradini, all four letters are long. Shrotradinindriya, nindriya, this is the first short letter, dri. Shrotradinindriyanyanye, yanyanye, yanyanye, Shrotradinindriyanyanye. The last one is long one. Yanye, sanyama, sanyama. Remember here, sa has anuswar. So it has to be pronounced as nasal ya, as if there is another half ya between this sa and ya. Okay, there is a conjunct consonant of half va joined with another ya. Consider it like that, and a nasal sound has to be brought in. Sanyama agnishu, sanyama agnishu, juhvati, 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 and T has to be short. Shabdadin vishayananya, Shabdadin vishayananya, Shabdadin vishayananya, Indriyagnishu, Indriyagnishu, Juhvati, Juhvati. Okay. Next, 27. Sarvani indriya karmani, prana karmani chapare, atma sanyama yogagnau, juhvati jnana dipite. Sarvani indriya karmani, sarvani indriya, sarvani indriya karmani, karmani, prana karmani, prana karmani chapare. If you take both these charan together in one breath, then aghata on this karmani is ni has to be taken. Sarvani indriya karmani, prana karmani chapare, karmani, prana karmani chapare, like that. Atma sanyama yogagnau, atma, don't say atma, atma sanyama again. On this there is this anuswar is there, which has to be pronounced as nasal ya. Make it as if there is another half year in between these two, like we had done in the Sanyamagnishu 26 no. Similarly here, Sanyama, Sanyama yogagnau, yogagnau, juhvati. On this T, there is aghat. This aghat will be of which letter will be decided by how you pronounce this jnana dipite or jnana dipite or gnana dipite. Okay, I pronounce it as jya, so the aghat will be of ja. Juhvati jnana dipite, jnana dipite. Don't say jnana, jnana dipite. D is long and P short, te again is long. Next, Didi, 28. Dravya yajna stapo yajna 28 दीदी, 28वां। द्रव्य यज्ञास्तपो यज्ञा योग यज्ञास्तथा परे स्वाध्याय यज्ञान यज्ञाश्च यतयः संशितव्रताः। द्रव्य yajnas. Now again, whether it is yajna or yagya or yajna, your own regional pronunciation. Stick with that. Dravya yajnas tapo yajna. Dravya yajnas tapo yajna. Yoga yajnas tatha pare. Yoga yajnas tatha pare. Yoga yagyas tatha pare, whichever way you pronounce it. Swadhyaya, swa, take it long. Swadhyaya, swadhyaya. Again, at the end of this year, you have to take the aghat depending upon the next letter. Swadhyaya jnana or swadhyaya jnana yajnyascha yatayas, yatayas. And continue with this with the next letters. Yatayas samshita prataha. Samshrita. Sam, this anuswar on top of this sa has to be nasal verb, as if there is a half verb between this sa and sha. Samshita. Samshita prataha. Yatayas samshita prataha. Next slok, Didi. 29. Apane juhvati pranam prane panan tatha pare pranapanagati ruddhva pranayama parayana. Very easy. Only pay attention to juhvati, which we have done earlier also. Okay. Prane panan. Break it down like that and pronounce it. There will be nothing wrong. Third charan, ruddhva. Remember, there are three letters here after ru. Half the joined with half the joined with va. Ruddhva, ruddhva. And if you read the third and fourth charan together in one breath, then the aghat and va has to be taken. Prana panagati ruddhva pranayama parayana. Ruddhva pranayama parayana. Like that. Okay, next, the 30th slok, this one. Apare niyatahara pranan praneshu juhvati sarve pyete yajnavido yajna shapita kalmashaha. Apare niyata hara. Niyata hara pranan praneshu juhvati sarve pyete. Sarve, after a very long way, then take the aghat of this half pa. Sarve pyete. Pyete. Don't say sarve pyete. Pa yete. Payate. Sarve yete. Sarve yete. Sarve pyete yajnavido. Now again, it is yajna, ya or yajna or yajna, whichever way you pronounce it. Yajna shapita kalmashaha or yajna shapita kalmashaha. Yajna shapita kalmashaha. Next slok, Didi, 31st. Yajnashishtamrata bhujo jantik brahma sanatanam nayam lokostya yajnasya utonyah kuru sattama. Yajna, again the jya has come, whether yajna or yajna, depends. Yajyashish, yajyashish. The first sh is the palatal one, and the next one is murdhanya, the cerebral or retroflex sh. Sh and sh. Shish, shish, shish. Little tongue twisting here. Yajna shishtamrita bhujo. Yajna shishtamrita bhujo. Mrita, don't say mrita bhujo. Yantit, yantit brahma sanatanam. Sanatanam. Nayam lokos. Lokos. This half sa, take it at the end of loko. And then the remaining tya yajyasya. Lokos tya yajyasya. Lokos tya yajyasya. Lokos tya yajyasya. Putonyah. Putonyah. Purusattama. Easy. Next. 30 seconds. Evam bahuvidha yajna vitata brahmano mukhe karmajan viddhitan sarvan evain jnatva vimokhyase. Vitata, vitata, and then at the end of ta, the aghat for hab. Vitata brahmano mukhe karmajan, karmajan viddhi, karmajan viddhi tan sarvan, karmajan viddhi tan sarvan evain jnatva. Now again this ya will change. If you read it as gya, gyatva, then this will become nga. Evang gyatva, like that. It will change according to the way you pronounce this letter. Jnatva or gyatva. Evang gyatva vimokhyase. Remember, it is half ksha joined with ya. Don't read it as vimokshase. It is vimokhyase. 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 This is 33rd. Next. Shreyan dravyamayadyajñaj jnanayajña parantapa sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Shreyan dravyamayadyajñaj. Shreyan dravyamayadyajñaj. Break it down like that. Jnana yajyaf, and depends the way you pronounce the jnar or gya. Jnana yajyaf parantapa sarvam karma khilam partha. Now if these two charan, if you read in one go, then the aghat on this part has to be taken. Sarvam karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Or if you read it as jnane, then sarvam karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate, like that. And the end is pyate. Remember that. Pa half joined with yate. Pyate. Don't make it as pate. Okay. Next, the 34th. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnane jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Lots of aghat, and they are all very important ones. You should not miss out. Okay. Tad vidhi. Look at the three aghas there. Tad vidhi. Tad vidhi. The last, I'm joining the lips together to preparing for pranipaten. Okay, for that pa. Tad vidhi pranipatena. Pranipatena. And the last na is complete. Don't say pranipaten. Pranipatena. again aghat, pariprashnena sevaya, upadekshyanti. Remember here, ksha is half joined with yanti, like the earlier stroke, samapyate or vimokshiyase. He similarly here, upadekshyanti, upadekshyanti. And don't read it as long one. Upadekshanti. Don't make it T. Upadekshanti. Shanti. Te jnane. Te long. And again, what aghat you will take there depends on how you pronounce the next letter. Gya or jya, yadnya, whichever way. Te jnane. Jnaninas. Again, depending upon whether you read it as jya or gya, this letter which is shown in bracket jya, that should be changed. Okay. If you read it as jnaninas, so you will read it like this. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas. Like that. Jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Next slok, Didi. 35th. Yajñātvāna punarmoham. Yajñātvāna punarmoham. Evam yasyasi pandava. Yena bhutanya sheshena. Rakshasyatmanyatho mai. Number of aghats again. And they are all important. Yajñātva or yajñātva, depending upon how you pronounce it. Napunar moham. Then yena, don't say ena, yena, third charan. Yena bhutanya, bhu, long one. Bhutanya sheshena. There are two shays. One is she, the other one is she. Okay. The palatal and the cerebral. Sheshena. Drakshasya. Drakshasya. Drakshya. Drakshya. Half ksha joined with ya. Remember that. Drakshasyaatmanyatho mai. Drakshasyaatmanyatho mai. And the last word is mayi. Don't read it as vowel E. It is consonant here joined with vowel E. Mayi, mayi. Drakshasyaatmanyatho mayi. And both this charan, if you read them together, then it will be Yena bhutanya sheshena drakshasyaatmanyatho mayi. Like that. Next slok, Devi. 36. Apichedasi papebhyas sarvebhyah papakruttamaha sarvain jnana plavenaiva rajinam santarishyasi. Okay, in this, don't read it as papakruttama. Papakruttamaha, the last word in the first line. Then the third charan, jnana or jnana, and accordingly the sarvai or sarvang, okay, whichever way you pronounce, the first half letter, accordingly the letter shown in the bracket will be decided. I read it as jya, as if it is half ja joined with ya, so my pronunciation is based on that. And what is shown there is also for that combination only. Sarvai jnana plave naiva, jnana plave naiva, brajinam, bra. This is letter V joined with Rishi's Ri, that vowel. Okay. So you can read it as Vrijinam or Vrujinam or Vrajinam. Vrajinam Santa Rishyasi. Santa Rishyasi. Next slok, Didi, 37. Yathai dhamsi samidhognir bhasmasat kurute Arjuna jnanagnis sarvakarmani भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा यथैधांसि यथैधांसि on tha the anuswar is there which has to be pronounced as nasal v anunasik nasal v anunasik v athai yathaidhamsi as if there is half v before c the short c yathaidhamsi samidhognir भस्मसात् कुरुते कुरुतेर्जुन don't say kuruterjun jnanagnis or it could be jnanagnis or gnanagnis whichever way you pronounce it sarva karmani भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा okay next श्लोक दीदी 38 न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते तत् स्वयं योग संसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति न हि this he has to be it is short. So na and he to be joined, taken together and joined with the next word, which could be jnanen or jnaner or jnanen, whichever way you pronounce it. Na hi jnanena, and this end na is full. Don't say jnanen. Jnanena sadrisham. Don't say sadrisham. 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 Sada with that rishi's re. Sadrisham. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitra miha vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddha. Sam, the anuswar on top of this has to be again pronounced as nasal verb. Samsiddha. Kale natmani vindati kale natmani vindati. Okay, next 39 shloka. Shraddhavan labate jnanan tatparasanyatendriyaha jnanam labdva param shantim achirenadhigacchati. Shraddhavan labate, anunasik on top of that va to be taken, it's like Chandra Bindu. It should be, that nasal sound should be there, but thereafter you have two la's, half la joined with another la. Shraddhavan I say, Shraddhavan labate jnanan tatparas sanyatendriya. Anuswara on top of sa, sanya, another ya, nasal ya, sanyatendriya. Sorry. Jnanam labdva, three letters there. So lab and dva. Then last word is achirenadhi gacchati. Achirenadhi gacchati. Next shloka. 40th shloka. Okay. Ajñascha shraddadhanascha samshayatma vinashyati. Nayam lokosti na paro na sukham samshayatmanah. Lots of aghat. Ajñascha or agyascha, depending upon how you pronounce it, or adnyascha. So I pronounce it as jya, so I go by that. Ajyascha. So aghatana, aghatan jya, and then aghatan this cha also. Ajyascha shraddadhanascha. Shraddha. This is the joined with another the, half the joined with the. Dhanascha, Shraddha, Dhanascha, Ajyascha, Shraddha, Dhanascha, Samshayatma. Again, Anuswara on top of Sa, Anunasik, Va, or nasal Va. Samshayatma, Vinashyati, Vinashyati. The end is Ti, that is short. Nayam lokosti, lokosti, na paro, na sukham, samshayatmanah. Anuswara on top of Sa, again, Anunasik Va, or nasal Va. Samshayatmanah, samshayatmanah, na sukham, samshayatmanah. Next slok, Didi, 41st. Yogas, 41st. Yogasanyasta karmani jnana sanchinna samshayam atmavantanna karmani nibadhnanti dhananjaya. Yogasanyasta. Say yogasan and then you say nyasta. Yogasanyasta, yogasanyasta karmani jnana sanchinna samshayam. Anuswar has to be pronounced as nasal va. Samshayam atmavantanna karmani, atmavantanna karmani nibadhnanti. Pay attention to this word. Nibadh. The dha is there of dhanush, dha, and then there is, this is half dha joined with na. This letter na is there. Nibadhnanti, nibadhnanti dhananjaya, dhananjaya, nibadhnanti dhananjaya. 42nd slok. Tasmadajnana sambhutam Rutsthai jnanasinatmanah chitvainam samshayam yogam atishthotishta bharata. Tasmadajnana. Aghats are very important here. If you don't take them, that meaning itself will change. Tasmadajnana sambhutam. Tasmadajnana sambhutam Rutsthai. Now, pay attention to this. This is the letter H with a matra of Rishi, that Krishna. Same matra, same vowel joined with it. Like you say Hruday. It is the same letter. The first letter is the same. Hruday, or the heart. Okay, Hruday wala Hru. So Hrutsthai, Hrutsthai. 3 letters are there. First half the has to be joined with this Hru, and remaining Stha with the Anuswar has to be pronounced together thereafter. Hrutsthai. And Sthai because there is Jya. So because I say Jya, that's why it's Nya. If you say Gya, then it will be Hrutsthang. Hrutsthang Jnana. This is how you should say. Hrutsthang Jnana Sinatmana. Because, but if you say like I do, Jyan, then Hrutsthang Jnana Sinatmana. Jnana Sinatmana. Okay. Chitvainam. After chi, there are 2 haftas. One hafta, another hafta, which is then joined with va and a vowel of I. Chitvainam. So you should say chit and say tvai. Chitvainam, 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 samshayam, samshayam. Again, on top of sa, there is Anuswar, which has to be pronounced as Anunasik va or nasal va. Samshayam yogam. Now pay attention to this word. atishto, atishtot. End it with a half ta or halanta ta. Atishtot, atishtot. And then say tishtha, tishtha. Atishtot, tishtha. Atishtot, tishtha bharata. Atishto, tishtha bharata. Okay, we come to the end of the chapter. Pushpika Didi, Pushpika. Okay, pay attention to the Pushpika with all the aghats. Okay. Om Tat Saditish Srimad Bhagavad Gītā Su Upanishad Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. Now here also aghat has to come. Samvade Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama Chaturthodhyayah. Once again, Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gītā Su Upanishad Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nam Chaturthodhyayah. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Okay. Didi, do we have the mark sheet of Pathik?
Yes, yes, Priya.
Can you show that? Share that, please.
Yes. Just a second. Priya.
Okay, you all are preparing for Pathik. Many of you would have appeared in Jignasu as well as the Pathak examination. So the exam for Pathik is on the similar line, except that the number of chapters get added. That's all. The method of examination, the marking system, everything remains similar. But because the 6 chapters are added, so the overall marks, the grand total of the marks also increases accordingly. Okay. Didi has shared this screen. If you look at it, so you will see it is similar to your mark sheet that you would have got for Jignasu or for Pathak. So first, you will have to give the name of the chapter, which you know. Where do you get it? In the Pushpika. The name of the chapter comes in the Pushpika. Like in this particular case, the Pushpika says, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama. So whatever comes before that Nama, the word that comes before Nama is the name of the chapter. Okay. Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogo. You are Yoga or simply Yoga. Okay. For that, there is 1 mark. For all of these chapters, each of them, there will be 1 mark. Then the first shlok has to be recited. You either wait for the examiner to ask you, or you yourself, after giving the name of the chapter, you can recite the first shlok. Then from the first 1/3 of the chapter, they will give you one first charan of any shlok. You are supposed to recite that complete shlok and the following shlok, immediately following that shlok. Okay. And similarly from the middle 1/3 and then the last 1/3. Aim is that throughout the chapter, the shloks are distributed. It should not so happen that you have memorized only half of the chapter and you answer all of it. You are lucky enough to get all shloks from that half, or somebody is bad, is not lucky enough and he gets all from the second half, so he won't be able to answer any. So that's why 2 shloks from each part, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 of the chapter. And this 1/3 division, there is no mathematical calculation. It's a broad division. Okay. Don't ask me how do you divide, though of course 42 can be divided by 3, but there would be like 20, you can't divide by 3. Okay, so don't ask me. It is a broad division. Then, so each of these 2 shloks fetch you 8 marks. Then on on each of the chapter, on your anuswar and visarg clarity and the correctness, you get 5 marks for each of the chapters. So in any chapter, if you have not done it correctly, then their marks may be deducted for that. Okay. Overall, you must get 16 marks in any of the chapter. In each of the chapter, you must get at least 16 to pass in that chapter. And in all these examinations, Jignasu onwards, if you fail in any of the chapters, then you don't pass this exam. And next time you'll have to appear for all the chapters again. There's nothing like a compartment system. Okay. So you appear for these 12 chapters, pass in each of them, then you pass Pathik. Okay. Then on this, the way you recite, and also your correct pronunciations. Okay. On that, there is overall 16 marks are there overall across all the 12 chapters. So that's how you get total 400 marks. And I can only wish you all the best for the examination. You people are preparing, so obviously you will do well. Okay. If you have any doubts, please raise your hands now. Doubts on any of these slokas or on examination, the method of examination, anything pertaining to these subjects. And if you don't raise the hand, that means no doubts or so many doubts that you don't know. Okay, Atul Kulkarni, please unmute yourself. And I would request you can have your video on unless there is some technical issue.
Will you be conducting demo?
Please on your video.
Say again. Okay,
Demo?
you want to give the mock test. Okay,
Yeah,
after
if possible.
questions have been answered, after the questions have been answered, we will take the mock test. Okay. Is there anybody who has a question? Because so far nobody has raised a hand. Okay. Then raise hands for your mock test. If you have done some preparation, may not be complete, but you can take the mock test, which will give you some degree of confidence. Maybe. Okay. Think about it. Till that time, I will take the test of Atulji. Okay. No, who is giving Atul Kulkarni?
Yes, sir.
Unmute yourself. You are unmuted. Okay. Ready? Prepared for that? Complete chapter is ready?
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay.
preparing for Vrati now. So
Okay.
I'm already done with Pathik. So but now it is like
okay. So you have already passed once. So you are trying to pass it again because of the Gītā Vrati. Okay.
So I want to just see whether I'm ready now for that. Or
okay. You will. Don't worry. Okay. Now close your eyes and listen carefully. Yathai-dhamsi samidhognir.
Yathai-dhamsi samidhognir bhasmasat kuruterjuna jnanagni sarvakaramani bhasmasat kurute tatha nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitramihim vidyate tatsayam. So
if you get stuck, repeat the shloka.
Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitramihim vidyate. Last words of
Tatsvayam
samsiddhat kalena.
Tatsvayam yoga samsiddhat.
Tatsayam yoga samsiddhat kalena atmani vindati.
Very good. Very good. Some more practice will make you perfect. No issue. But your setting should be for examination. It should be correct. You should be facing the camera. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the hospital right now. So
okay. All right. Anyone else? Someone? Pandurangji, you also wanted to give mock test? Pandurangji?
Yes, sir. Demo.
Okay. Chaliye. Shreyan dravyamayadyajyaj.
Shreyan dravyamaya jajñāt. डेमो के वक्त ही नहीं आता वाक्य।
Okay. Try it, repeat it.
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते। बाकी सब आता। श्रेयान् द्रव्यमया ज्ञान यज्ञ परन्तप।
Very good.
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते तद्विद्धि।
Repeat again.
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमया ज्ञान यज्ञ परन्तप। ये यहाँ गलत हो रहा है।
Correct, repeat it.
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमया ज्ञान योग परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते नहि
Very good.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः।
Very good.
पहला करेक्ट है क्या? श्रेयान् द्रव्यमया।
हाँ, बिल्कुल ठीक है।
सर मेरे को एग्जाम में तो बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स है। अभी डेमो के वो डर निकालने के लिए मैं बार बार डेमो देता हूँ, तो भी वो डर लगता ही है। फिर भी
डरना क्या चाहिए?
मुझे भी मालूम है
ये कोई कैरियर का एग्जाम थोड़ी है।
सब मालूम है, फिर भी क्या मालूम डेमो के वक्त ऐसा भूल नहीं। तो मैं नंबर सही
नहीं, बिंदास जाइए। कोई ऐसा कोई और एग्जामिनर भी आपको कोई
आप अगर पूछे
पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से थोड़ी पूछते हैं, आपको पास करने के लिए पूछते हैं।
तो भी नहीं मैं बता सकता हूँ।
और मदद करते हैं, अगर कहीं अटक भी जाते हैं तो मदद भी करते हैं। ओके,
एक पूछना था, थोड़ा हिंदी में।
हाँ, पूछिए।
जैसा अपन कभी
थोड़ा माइक के पास आके पूछिए।
मुच्यते बोलते तो मुच्यते ऐसा बोलते ना अपन।
थोड़ा माइक के पास आके पूछिए, बहुत क्लैरिटी नहीं है।
मुच्यते जब बोलना रहता है तो अपन मुच्यते ऐसा बोलते ना।
उच्यते वाला।
हाँ,
आप स्पेसिफिक श्लोक का एग्जांपल लीजिए।
अभी इसमें का याद नहीं आ रहा मुझे। तस्मात् योगाय युज्यस्व वगैरह ऐसे जो है। युज्यते
श्लोक बोलिए, कोई जो चरण बोलिए, जो जितना याद आता वो बोलिए ना।
नहीं सर, अभी नहीं याद आ रहा मेरे को, श्लोक नहीं याद आ रहा। बहुत जगह है ना ऐसा।
हाँ है, मुच्यते आता है, उच्यते आता है। तो उसमें देखिए, अभी जैसे इसमें विमोक्ष्यसे है, परिसमाप्यते है।
हाँ ऐसा है ना। तो ये मेरा सवाल ये है कि ये च और य कब बोलना, और सीधा जैसा प्रत्यक्ष है, विद्या है, विद्यते है, यहाँ पर भी ऐसा यह अलग बोलना पड़ता है क्या? यह अलग कहाँ बोलना पड़ता है, ये मेरा सवाल है।
ये कुछ अक्षरों के साथ में जब यह आता है, खासतौर से आप ये समझिए कि जिनमें यह अलग दिखता है। देखिए, विद्या में अलग से बोलने की जरूरत नहीं थी, वो आ जाता है। वो अक्षर भी जॉइंट अक्षर बना हुआ है, उसके लिए अलग ही लिगेचर है ना।
प्रत्यक्ष के लिए भी नहीं जरूरत मेरे को लगता
उसमें। मतलब आप खुद देखिए, विद्या बोलते हैं तो द आ ही जाता है, और यह भी आता ही है, तो इसलिए हमको बताने की जरूरत नहीं रहती। लेकिन ये जो कुछ अक्षर हैं, जैसे च का, जैसे आपने एग्जाम्पल दिया, त के साथ, प के साथ में, तो कुछ व्यंजन हैं जिनके बाद में जब यह आता है, और तो कई बार बोलने में वो यह छूट जाता है, और उसी अक्षर का जो आधा अक्षर है उसी का द्वित्व जैसा हो जाता है बोलने में। तो इसीलिए हम बात बोलते हैं कि जब आप उसका पठन करें या रिसाइटेशन करें तो यते या य उसमें स्पष्ट आना चाहिए। दैट्स ऑल। अभी जैसे विमोक्ष से, नहीं तो विमोक्ष से हो जाता है, विमोक्ष से, तो यह गायब हो गया। अपने
ये चौथे चैप्टर का 35वां श्लोक समझो। है ना, यज्ञात्वान पुनर्मोहम, ऐसा है ना। ये ना भूतान
यास्यसि वर्ड आता है, यास्यसि, उसमें डाउट है।
हाँ, द्रक्षस्यात्मन्यते। और जैसा स्पीड ब्रेकर पर से कैसी गाड़ी चलाते हैं अपन, 2 व्हीलर, ऐसी 2-3 स्पीड ब्रेकर रहते हैं ना कंटिन्यूअस, और उस वक्त कैसी गाड़ी।
एक चीज बताता हूँ, अभी ऑफकोर्स थोड़ा वो लेट है, लेकिन आप वो याद रखिए, श्लोक को थोड़ा धीरे धीरे पढ़ते हैं ना अगर एक एक लेटर के ऊपर, तो उच्चारण की स्पष्टता भी आती है और गलती होने की संभावना भी कम होती है। लेकिन याद करने में वो शायद थोड़ा सा हिंड्रेंस आता है, हमको तेज पढ़ने में, याद करने में सहूलियत होती है, ऐसा होता है।
हाँ, वो प्रैक्टिस ही।
अगर आप याद करने के समय एक मॉडरेट स्पीड से चलें, बहुत स्लो नहीं। मैं पढ़ता हूँ, जैसे अभी क्लास में मैंने पढ़ा, तो वो शायद ज्यादा स्लो रहा होगा,
बहुत स्लो रहता अपना।
लेकिन याद करने के हिसाब से इससे थोड़ा सा फास्ट हो सकते हैं, लेकिन जितनी तेजी से आप लोग बोलते हैं ना, ज्यादातर लोग उतनी तेजी से नहीं बोलना चाहिए, उतनी तेजी से याद नहीं करना चाहिए। उसमें क्या होता है, ये वही कहते हैं ना, अगर आप फास्ट लोकल लेके जाते हैं तो वो कुछ छोटे मोटे स्टेशन को छोड़ देती है, तो वैसा इसलिए आप एक अक्षर को अगर आप पढ़ेंगे,
यज्ञात्वान पुनर्मोहम एवं यास्यसि पांडव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि, ये ले चलेगी?
नहीं, इससे थोड़ा स्लो कीजिए, कोशिश कीजिए। लेकिन अगर आपने स्पीड से याद किया तो मुश्किल है अभी, लेकिन जब भी आप आगे और गीता व्रती के लिए बैठेंगे तो सुधारने की कोशिश की, स्पीड कम हो। और ज्यादा दीर्घ अगर बोलेंगे ना तो स्पीड अपने आप कम होगी।
तो सर ये द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि, इसमें सब ये अलग बोलते।
देखिए मैं बोलता हूँ, द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि, हाँ जी,
स्या को अलग बोलने की जरूरत
नहीं, वो अलग से नहीं बोलना है, लेकिन आपको बोलने के समय ख्याल रखना है कि यह का साउंड आ रहा है। अगर नहीं आ रहा है तो ध्यान दीजिए। द्रक्ष्यस्या से देखिए यह आ रहा है ना क्ष के बाद, द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मन्यथो मयि, मन्यथो, देखिए न्यथ
मन में।
अगर आपको लगता है कि आपने वो अक्षर छोड़ रहे हैं तो उस पर ध्यान दीजिए। अगर आपको लगता है कि नहीं मेरे मुंह से निकल रहा है उसकी ध्वनि, तो ठीक है, फिर चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं। ठीक है, चलिए। और किसी का कोई और डेमो देना चाह रहे हैं, मॉक टेस्ट या क्वेश्चन?
हेलो सर।
नहीं,
हाँ नहीं, मॉक टेस्ट भी है और क्वेश्चन भी है, दोनों है।
हाँ, क्वेश्चन पहले पूछ लीजिए फिर मॉक टेस्ट ले लेंगे।
39 श्लोक कैसे आप फर्स्ट चरण कैसे उच्चार करते हैं?
39 श्लोक में? हाँ बोलिए। फर्स्ट चरण श्रद्धावान लभते,
श्रद्धावान लभते, मैं ऐसा बोलती हूँ, मेरा बरोबर है क्या? श्रद्धावान लभते ज्ञान।
बहुत बढ़िया, न की ध्वनि मत निकलने दीजिए। श्रद्धावान लभते, अनुनासिक जैसे लो हो वैसे।
श्रद्धावान लभते ज्ञान, वाल लभते,
ठीक है, सही बोल रहे हैं आप, श्रद्धावान लभते ठीक बोल रहे हैं। ठीक
सर, अभी डेमो के लिए ट्राई कर।
हाँ, थोड़ा आप माइक के पास आइए थोड़ा सा।
एक मिनट। हाँ अभी ठीक है? सुनाई देता?
हाँ अभी ठीक है। ठीक है, तो टेस्ट लें आपका?
हाँ हाँ
ओके, चलिए आसान वाला पूछता हूँ आपको। गत संगस्य मुक्तस्य, बोलिए।
गत संगस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः, सॉरी, गत संगस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते, ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्म हविः ब्रह्मग्नो ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिना।
बहुत सुंदर, बहुत सुंदर। थोड़ा सा अब ये अभ्यास करते हैं ना तो दीर्घ वर्णों पे ध्यान दीजिए। ब्रह्मग्नो, ब्रह्मग्नो नहीं होना चाहिए, तो दीर्घ वर्णों के ऊपर थोड़ा सा ध्यान देके याद तो कर लिया है, लेकिन अब उन जगह पे थोड़ा सा सुधार अगर करेंगे तो उच्चारण की स्पष्टता वगैरह के मार्क्स जो है वो नहीं घटेंगे आप। ठीक है, तो 100 में से 100 आ सकते हैं।
अच्छा,
ठीक है, पास तो होंगे, लेकिन 100 में से 100 लाने के लिए थोड़ा इसमें सुधार कीजिए।
थैंक यू सर।
ओके, किसी और का है प्रश्न या डेमो? नहीं? ओके, चलिए फिर दीदी अपना कंक्लूडिंग प्रेयर कह लेते हैं।
यस भैया।
किसी ने हैंड रेज तो नहीं किया ना? माँ मधुरा कोल्टे जी, हैंड रेज हो गया। चलिए अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को।
हाँ सर, जय श्री कृष्णा।
जय श्री कृष्णा।
मुझे छठावा जो श्लोक है ना वो जरा चाहिए था, वो
संज्ञेयात्मा,
6th वाला, 6 श्लोक,
छठवां। ओके ओके ओके, तो आप बोलिए उसको।
अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा, ये मुझे थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो रहा है इसीलिए मैंने
ओके, मैं बोलता हूँ, मेरे पीछे बोलिए।
हाँ,
अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा, बोलिए।
अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा।
नहीं, सन्नव्ययात्मा आघात है, ना के ऊपर आधे व का, याद रखिए। अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा।
अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा।
भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन्।
भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन्।
हाँ, प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय, बोलिए।
प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय
संभवाम्यात्ममायया।
संभवाम्यात्ममायया।
बहुत सुंदर, बहुत सुंदर।
धन्यवाद सर, धन्यवाद।
चलिए, और किसी का कोई? हाँ, गिरिजा, अनम्यूट कीजिए प्लीज।
जय श्री कृष्णा। 13 श्लोक में मुझे एक संदेह है, मैं पढ़ के दिखाती हूँ तो ठीक है।
कौन से श्लोक में?
39 है, मैं पढ़
39 में। ओके, पूछिए।
लभते ज्ञानं तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः, ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचुरेणाधिगच्छति।
ठीक तो पढ़ा आपने, एक बार और पढ़ दीजिए।
ठीक है ना? ठीक है,
हाँ, एक बार और पढ़ दीजिए।
श्रद्धावल्लभते ज्ञानं तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः, ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचुरेणाधिगच्छति।
बिल्कुल ठीक है, बिल्कुल ठीक है, थोड़ा स्पीड कम कर।
संयतेन्द्रियः, संयतेन्द्रियः ना, उसमें एक डाउट है। संयतेन्द्रियः,
मुझसे आप जो बोल रहे हो ठीक है, आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो ठीक है, उतना गलती नहीं। थोड़ा सा आप खींच सकते हो उसको। संयतेन्द्रिय, मतलब य का द्वित्व होना चाहिए, देखिए उसमें।
संयतेन्द्रिय है।
हाँ, सही है, सही है।
थैंक यू भैया।
ओके, डेमो देंगे?
नहीं, मैं पढ़ के रखी हूँ, फिर भी वो तो बाइक के मार्क्स।
तो दीजिएगा डेमो, फिर आपको एग्जामिनेशन के लिए कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा। पूछूं?
ओके,
ओके, आंख बंद कीजिए, चश्मा उतार लीजिए। अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम,
अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम, प्राणे अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम, प्राणे प्राणं तथा परे, प्राणं प्राणे तथा परे। अपाने जुह्वति प्राणं, प्राणे प्राणं तथा परे।
प्राणा,
क्या दी?
प्राणापान,
पानापान गतिरुद्ध्वा प्राणायाम परायणाः।
नेक्स्ट,
स्टार्टिंग प्रभु।
अपरे,
अपरे, अपरे,
अपरे नियता,
अपरे नियताहार, अपरे नियताहार।
प्राणान
प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति, प्राण ये प्राण।
थोड़ा अभ्यास कीजिए। सर्वेप्येते, करेक्ट है।
यज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षमितकल्मषाः,
कल्मषाः। अच्छा, ये बताइए, सब लोग में से हिंदी में बात कर रहे हैं, ये क्लास तो इंग्लिश की थी, तो आप लोग इंग्लिश में क्यों आए अगर आपको हिंदी में चाहिए था? चलिए,
तो प्रैक्टिस करना है। मैं
थोड़ा
याद आता है,
समय है अभी आपका, एक हफ्ते से ज्यादा।
मनन किया है, मैं कई बार इसे मनन किया है, फिर भी भूल जाती हूँ।
नहीं, ये देखिए, रोज पढ़िए, दिन में 2 बार, ऑडियो सुनिए, घर में काम करते हुए भी आप ऑडियो लगा के रखिए और सुनते रहिए,
अच्छा, जरूर जरूर।
तो अटकने का है ना वो चला जाता है। जितनी ज्यादा बार आप सुनेंगे या जितनी ज्यादा बार आप पढ़ेंगे उतनी इसमें आपकी शुद्धता बढ़ेगी,
अच्छा,
पक्वता आएगी। ठीक है,
धन्यवाद जी, धन्यवाद।
ओके। और किसी का कुछ नहीं तो प्रार्थना ले रहा हूँ। योगेशं सच्चिदानंद वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्म संस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुं, कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुं। जय श्री कृष्ण। ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन। और बाकी भी 3-4 और हैं आपके, अभी एक्स्ट्रा क्लास 3 शायद और होंगे, आज तीसरा अध्याय था इसमें, तो सभी अटेंड कीजिए और मॉक टेस्ट दीजिए, कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा और अच्छे तैयारी से एग्जाम में बैठिए और सब अच्छे 100 नंबर लेकर के पास होइए। ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट।
थैंक यू सर।
जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्ण भैया।